Hello and welcome to Loving Me, Myself, and Life. Today, I'm going to share a slightly embarrassing story about myself. So get comfortable and get ready to hear me share a little something, with you today. So I have been resisting change. I was resisting technology. Now, I'm not against technology. I love technology. It allows me to work from home and it is amazing. I wasn't resisting it because I don't like new technology and things like that. I was resisting getting a new laptop and a new cell phone for like the longest time because I thought I didn't have time to learn the new thing. Moving everything over. It's like I have my laptop all, I have it all set up the way I want it. My cell phone set up the way I want it. And I've been resisting change, even though my laptop, my old one, I had to keep it plugged in because the battery was dead. So if I had to move it, I literally had to move it from one charger to another, like in like a minute, like not even a minute, less than a minute. It also would just shut itself off if I wasn't using it. Like it would just close it up. So I'd always have to have music playing in the background or something running so it wouldn't turn off if I ran to the washroom or something. It was crazy. Yet here I am resisting. I was resisting, not anymore, but I was resisting this change. And it was also like this really big, beautiful one. So it'd be great for, it was great for designing on it and even watching things on it. Like it was really great. Like if you were into game playing and watching TV on the laptop, it was beautiful. It wasn't great for moving, not to mention that I had to have it plugged in like 24/7. But it was hard to move around. So if I wanted to go out to the deck or something like that, or even just take it outside of the house, it had to be on my desk all the time. So I was resisting it though, because I didn't think I had enough time to move everything over, to do all this, to learn a new format and all this stuff. Like I was just building up in my head how challenging it was going to be to have this new thing. And then with a cell phone, I actually had another fun little share here is that I actually had a BlackBerry. Now, it was one that was backed by Android and Google. So it was Google Apps. So it could still run more than like an older BlackBerry. But I had it because, not that I didn't want a new cell phone, but because I love the keyboard. I love having a keyboard on my phone to this day. And it's been months now since I've gotten these new things, a computer and a phone, but I still miss my I still miss my keyboard to this day. I don't use my phone like I used to. Like I get creative in little moments where I'm just out doing something, or I'm just got out of the shower and I just have like this creative burst of awesome. And I usually just type myself in things. Well, I tried to do the recording app. I'm not a big fan of the transcribing from voice to thing. I've done it a couple times, but it's not the same. I like to type and I don't always have my computer nearby. And then I've also tried just writing it down by pencil on paper, and that's what I've been doing. But then I have to retype it out. I used to be able to copy and paste. So anyways, I digress. There's certain things that I do miss from this change. However, I do want to point out that now I get to use all the apps again. At one point, my phone was starting to not work in areas because of certain apps weren't going to be able to upgrade. I use Slack, which is an app, and I use it for my business to communicate and with my editing team, and I couldn't open it anymore. So that was a problem. Anyway, so I was resisting change though. I was resisting because I thought I didn't have enough time. Well, let's fast forward till I got these new awesome things. I like to add, I actually ended up getting them on the same week. I just decided to make a change. I was like, enough is enough. I'm going to do this. I think I just got so frustrated with dealing with my computer. And I've been literally thinking and talking about getting a computer for years. Like it would crash on me or something wouldn't work or it would take hours, maybe not hours, that's an over exaggeration. It would take a long time for me to open it, even like just get it running. It's like this little dinosaur, it was a lot. It took a lot to open it. Anyways, and then something would happen. And my husband's like, maybe it's time for you to get a new computer. And like, I was, talking about it and thinking about it for so long that eventually I just like I was like, that's it. Enough is enough. Let's do it. And then I did it with my phone too. Like, why not? Both things all at once. But anyways, let's fast forward. It was so easy. Here I am thinking the worst, right? It's going to take me forever. I don't have enough time for this. My computer was literally like, I don't even know. It was a couple minutes. It wasn't long. It didn't take long to set up at all. And then my phone was a little longer. And I did talk about like how I do still miss my keyboard, but it wasn't bad. And in fact, so here I am. My biggest concern was that I didn't have enough time to set it up and to learn these new things. Except the fact that is, I gained time. I gained time by getting new technology. I gained time by getting updated things to help me with my business. I don't want to have to wait forever for my computer to boot up. I don't have to have music playing on in the background to keep it running. Yeah, sure, it goes to sleep, but like I just touch it and hello, it's back again. And my cell phone, I get to use all the apps again. In fact, it was nice. I got to like get rid of some stuff. I got to do some little tweaking, but wow, things have changed where you can just move things over. So why am I telling you this? Why am I sharing, something that I'm like, this is like a little embarrassing to admit, that I kind of dragged my feet on getting new things that could have helped me in my life. It could have helped me for years. Like, especially my laptop. I was way overdue for a new one. Way overdue. But I stopped myself from doing it. All because I kept telling myself, I don't have enough time. I don't have enough time for this. I was like, I don't have time to learn a new thing. My calendar's full. Even though it literally saved me time. Anyways, I'm telling you this because I'm sure there's a time where you've procrastinated or you've resisted change. Because we can tend to talk ourselves out of something. Like, oh, I can't do that. I'm not going to be good at that. Or I don't have enough time. That was my big one, right? And we can talk ourselves out of something beautiful, something amazing, something that could change our life. I know I'm talking about technology here where, sure, okay, how can a computer change your life or a new phone? But the amount of time I gained back from updating my technology, like the amount of time the frustration I would feel from working, but why is this thing taking forever? Or I've actually lost things because it would just go and just shut itself off if I wasn't quick enough. If I didn't move one charger to the other one, or if I didn't have it plugged in just right. So we can resist change though, because we have this idea of what it should be or what it's going to be like, even though it might not be like that. But we have this idea of what it is. And some of them can be tied back to thoughts that we learned from our childhood or beliefs, or just things that we just assume is going to be. Like for me, I remember setting up my old one and it's like, I have to learn everything. But things have changed since then. So I'm sharing this with you to help you maybe just take some time to be like, is there anything in my life I'm resisting some change that I'm like, maybe it would be good. Now, I'm not saying you need to go out and buy a new phone or computer. This is just a story of what change I've been resisting. And then when I finally I just dive in head first. I'm like, enough is enough. And I'm boom, both of them all at the same time. Why not? Why not do it all at once? Because, I was procrastinating too long already. So instead of putting it on next week's to do, I was like, let's do it. Now, I would like to add that I did take time to research. And at first, part of my resistance was, I don't even know what computer I want. I knew what I didn't want, so I started there. And then I started okay, I want this. I like a light up keyboard. And I had certain things that I really wanted. I wanted it to be small and light and easy to move around. because I can move around the house and change up and be all over the place, be outside and things like that. So for me, I did do research. I didn't just like all of a sudden one day go, oh, that's it. I'm getting a laptop. I don't care what it is. I did take time to think about it, but I didn't take I already was looking at it probably a year before that. And I had some ideas, right? But then I kind of put it on the back burner because life gets busy. And then you just like, oh, I don't have time and things like that. So I did do that. And then for phones, like, honestly, I don't care. I was really sad because I was saying goodbye to my keyboard. So I had less concerns about my phone other than like, I wanted to make sure I had like a decent amount of memory and things in it. So I just needed to be functional personally, but my computer, I'm on it all the time and things like that. But I did my research. So I'm not saying like jump in head first right today. Just take a moment maybe. Just be like mindfully, like, have I been resisting something that could benefit me? Have I been procrastinating with something that I'm like, maybe constantly keep telling yourself, I'll do this tomorrow. I'll do this next week. I'll do this next month. I'll do this next year. And it's been like weeks, months, or years since you've been telling yourself. Just lovingly look at it and just be mindful. You don't have to do anything today. But just be mindful if there's been some resistance in your life. It happens. We're human. Like I said, we can have these ideas of what it's going to be like. Or like, I'm not good enough to do that. I'm not good enough to get that job. I can't do that. And we talk ourselves out of really amazing things, even though they could be the most amazing. Like I said, my story starts with a computer and a phone. But like yours can be completely different and we're just resisting something. Maybe it's going back to school or, just even picking up a different hobby that you've been thinking about forever. But then you're like, oh, I don't think I'll be good at it. Who cares? Go try it out. You never know, right? So I encourage you to look at it and see if there's been something. And then if you're ready, think about one thing you can do today to get one step closer. So maybe it's research. Maybe you're looking into, let's say, a yoga class. And you've been wanting to dabble in there, but you're not sure. And then you're like, well, at least let's look when yoga classes are for beginners. Here's a fun thing. They have beginner classes. They have a lot of things for beginners. We're not designed to just jump in head first in the deep end. We have to learn to swim first. So have a look, whatever it is that you're resisting. Just look. Maybe you want to take a new course. Oh, what's available? And there's this fun quote, and I'm going to share it with you today. What we resist persists. So if you have this thing, this burning desire in your heart for something, and you keep resisting it, it's going to keep showing up, right? Like now this is on a different one. This was on a heart thing, but mind you, it has been able to help me work so much more productively and less stressful, like super less stressful. Like I can just get to work. I don't have to take forever. Have a coffee break while my computer warms up. But I kept resisting change. And every day I struggled with my computer. And then I went over a month or so where Slack wasn't working on my phone. I was wasting a lot of time I could be spending with my children, time I could be spending with myself and getting to know myself more, or with my husband, out in nature. I was stealing time from myself, really, all because I was resisting change. So it was still persisting, like it was in my face every day, but I kept resisting. And sometimes we resist the things that are like going to be the best for us too. Like, you know what I mean? It's like it was right in my face every day. So what we resist persists. So if you're not, like, it can just keep showing up in our life until we're finally like, enough is enough, like I did. Or we can really lose out on opportunities that can really make our lives better. Like for another example in my own life is I resisted moving. I remember, and I might have shared this before, I'll just be really quick with this one, is I remember when my oldest was born and we were visiting family and friends. And I remember talking about like, oh, wouldn't it be nice? Like I was talking to my husband and a family friend was there too. And I was like, oh, wouldn't it be nice? Like because it was a winter, that we could live somewhere warmer in the winter. Because my husband and I just not a big fan of the snow and stuff like that. Anyway, so we were talking and a family friend was like, no, you should do it. I was like, oh, but our families, they're like, I was thinking about what they would think of, like missing out on spending time with them and excuses, right? Of why I can't do this thing that I want to do or what my husband and I want to do. It took about 5 years for me to finally wrap my head around this idea of moving somewhere warmer, like with a warmer winter, more mild winter. And by the water, it was always water. For me, the water was a big thing. So I could have moved northern Ontario, but then we have that whole winter thing and it's even more snowy up there. Anyway, so it took me about 5 years to stop telling myself excuses and procrastinating. However, it was persisting. So every winter I would be mad. Like our last straw was when there was a snowplow waking me up in the middle of the night beside our house every single night between 1 and 2 or something. And it would do the whole parking lot beside our house. And so it dropped its blades right beside our house, right by our bedroom at the beginning, and then come back and drop it again like an hour later or something like that. So I wasn't sleeping. I was miserable and things just kept showing up. If I didn't make that move, I still would have been miserable, especially in the winter. But there was even things in the summer I didn't love, that I had to take an hour and a half to get to a really good beach. 2 hours to like some of my favorite, or 3.5 to like my super favorite. So now I can just go out the door and go to the beach. Even in the winter, we can hang out. You can swim actually in the winter here too. Anyways, I am getting off topic here. But what I'm saying is, if you have something in your heart that you want to do, but you keep making excuses or you keep dragging your feet, you keep resisting this change for some shape or form, look at it. Why? Why are you resisting it? Now, I want to throw in that I'm not talking about doing something you don't want to do. I'm talking about your heart. What's your heart want? What would make your heart sing? Deep down, you have these desires, these wants, these needs. And maybe some of them you're resisting to do a change. And it can even be smaller things, like I'm talking deep stuff now, but even lighter stuff where maybe you just want to try something new, like pole dancing or chair dancing or, anything, like just something you're like, oh, that sounds like fun. But then you're like, no, well, people think of me, or I can't do that. Things like that. I want to just throw in that chair dancing and pole dancing are a lot of fun. And it's not like it's a lot of fun. It's a good workout. Anyway, I did that before kids. So it can be little things that all of a sudden lead to different things. Like maybe you meet a new friend and then that's a really good connection and, you become really good friends. Or it's amazing what happens when you follow your heart. When you do things that like this change will help you with. Like even just stepping out of your comfort zone in like small ways. Anyways, now I'm getting off topic again. But resisting change is usually our way of, we're telling ourselves something. Like for me, it was, I don't have enough time. And the fun thing about time is, it's all how we perceive it. So we all have the same time in the day. However, some of us manage it better. And even with our way of thinking, we actually do create more space and time for ourselves. So I find when my husband and I are like, oh my gosh, there's so much to do, we don't have enough time. We don't have enough time. We can't fit everything in we want to do. But when we're flowing, when we're in flow and we're just like having fun and we're doing things off the list and we're just helping each other and we're just moving with the flow, I look back at that day and we're like, wow, that was super productive. So sometimes we just have to change our perspective. And that goes with resisting change too. Instead of being like, oh, I don't have enough time, or I'm not going to be good at that, and whatever you're telling yourself is, you know what? The fun thing about time is like, I make time for other things. I would, if a friend wants to go for a walk, I'll make time. I want to go for a walk. And I wasn't making time to get a new computer or phone. All because I'm like, I didn't think I had enough time. But I can make time. I make time for walks, and I make time for my kids and make time for myself. So we just have to change your perspective. Be like, this is something I want to make time for. Or, okay, maybe I'm not going to be good at it, but no one starting something new is good at something. Usually it takes time and practice. So it's okay if you fumble and you fall down. It's about getting back up. And it's really getting clear on why are you resisting that change in the first place? Why do you think you can't do this? And again, it all comes down to awareness too. You might not even be aware that you're resisting. Like, honestly, I didn't think I was resisting things until I'm like, whoa, like I'm big time resisting. I was just like, I don't have time. And I could just shut it down and move on. We aren't even aware sometimes that we're resisting change. So just take a moment, become aware. Again, you don't have to do anything today. And then if you're ready though, like I did, I just jumped in, be like, what is the one thing I can do today that'll help me get closer to that change? I hope this has helped. Take a deep breath if this was a lot. Let it all out. And know that one little step at a time gets you to where you want to be. Just one step. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you. I hope you have a beautiful, beautiful day. Bye for now.